Okay, so the Philippines is made up of over 7,000 islands, each with something different to offer. There are tons of natural wonders, like waterfalls, rainforests, beaches, sandbars, volcanoes, and more. So what are we waiting for? Let's go! Okay, so we're finally on the plane. I wonder what kind of entertainment they have on here. Hey, a video about the Philippines. Let's watch it.
The Philippines is inhabited by over 175 ethno-linguistic nations, but is also the largest and only Christian nation in Asia, which is more than 86% of the population being Roman Catholic. Although there are many pre-Hispanic belief systems consisting of gods, spirits, and creatures practiced by the indigenous people, and Christianity and Islam were both introduced as foreign religions. The main language being taught are English and Tagalog, but other major languages also include Bicol, Cebuano, and more. Philippine art styles include visual arts, performing arts, textile art traditions, literature, dance, poetry, and more, and incorporate the indigenous people and are often reflects and influences of the country's culture and tradition. Literature tends to be based on poetry, which is passed down through generations. Architecture is based on the Roman Catholic Church, and music and dance combine multicultural influences. The average life expectancy in the Philippines is 68.41 years, and there are approximately 102 million people across 2,000 of the 7,641 islands living in the Philippines. The Philippines is divided into the industrial and urban north, and an agricultural and poorer in the south.
There are 37 known volcanoes, of which 18 are confirmed active. The most famous volcanoes are Mount Mayon and Mount Pinatubo. Some other prominent landforms include Trinidad Valley, or the Salad Bowl of the Philippines, the highest point, Mount Apo, which is 9,692 feet above sea level, and the lowest point, the Philippine Sea, which is at sea level. There are an estimated 21.5 billion tons of metal deposits, estimated 19.3 billion tons of non-metal minerals in the ground, and the Philippines has very fertile soil, which contributes to more than 2 million species of flowers and plants. The vegetation in the Philippines constitutes vines, ferns, orchids, malave trees, bamboo, and more. Sugarcane, coconut, rice, corn, banana, pineapple, coffee, and mangoes are all grown here as well. Many islands are covered with tropical rainforests. There are hundreds of orchid species, including some extremely rare varieties, and mangrove swamps, but the forests are rapidly shrinking due to deforestation. The longest river in the Philippines is the Cagayan, or the Rio Grande Cagayan, which is 217 miles long. Other important rivers include the Abra, Bicol, Chico, Pampanga, Mindanao, and Agusan. The largest lake is Laguna de Bay, but another important lake is Lake Taal, which occupies a volcanic crater. The climate is tropical rainforest, which means there are rainy and dry seasons, the rainy season being from June to October, while it is hot and dry monsoon season from December to May. There is never cold or snow, but there are often typhoons. Interesting physical features include Taal Volcano, which has 33 historical eruptions, and Taal Lake, partially filling the caldera, the Chocolate Hills, which are 1,260 to 1,776 small hills formed from limestone more than 20 square miles, of which many legends have been created, and Maria Cristina Falls, a waterfall on the Angus River that is 320 feet high. It is called the Twin Falls due to the rock that separates the flow at the top.
Okay, so we've just landed in Manila, which is the capital of the Philippines, located on the island of Lozu. As you can see, it's really sunny. The plan is to spend 3 days in Manila, then stop for a day in Vigan, before heading to Corregidor Island in Manila Bay, followed by a stop in Palawan for another 3 days. We're then going to spend some time in Kobu and finally Camiguin for a total of 10 days. Okay, so our first stop in Manila is at the first Chinatown outside of China. The world's first Chinatown, established in 1594, is a cultural throwback with diverse cultural and ethnic mixing of Chinese, Filipino, and Spanish cultures. Chinatown is best explored with calesas, or horse-driven carriages, but taxis and jeepneys are also available. Good, because I'm afraid of horses. You can also get all sorts of food, from pastries and sweetmeats like hokba, or mooncakes, to exotic ingredients such as ginseng, shark fin cartilage, deer horn, dried snake, bird's nest, as well as animal testicles, which may be found at apothecaries. Apothecaries cater to visitors and are willing to help by asking their symptoms, and they'll provide remedies for it. Chocolate tablets and cocoa used for making hot chocolate during Spanish times are also popular, and good luck charms and talismans are also found in various shops. Stalls selling gold, silver, and jewelry can be found, as well as sugarcane and chestnuts are sold by carts along the street, making the streets crowded because of them.
What can I get you guys?
What's good?
Well, my favorite is the pinakbet. It's a traditional indigenous dish from the northern Philippines, and it's vegetable steamed or fried in a fish sauce.
Sounds good. I'll have that.
And you?
Can I have a churro, please? But that's a dessert. I don't care.
I'll be right back with your food.
Thank you.
We then visited traditional Ivitan houses in the Batanes. The Ivitans are a Filipino ethno-linguistic group from the islands of the Batanes. Their origins are unclear and remain untraced among scholars, but they are known to be an Austronesian group. The culture of the Ivitans is influenced by the environmental conditions of the Batanes. Unlike the old-type nipa huts common in the Philippines, Ivitans have made houses of limestone designed to protect themselves against the hostile climate.
Okay, so here we are at the traditional Ivitan houses in Batney.
Our final stop near Manila was the Batad rice terraces. Near is used loosely, as to get to the rice terraces we had to take a 10-hour bus ride from Manila to Manaway, followed by a 1.5-hour jeepney ride, followed by a long hike down a steep hill to get to Batad where the rice terraces are, but it was worth it. The rice terraces have been called the eighth wonder of the world. Batad was built on the terraces so that the rice would not have to be carried quite so far. The rice terraces are truly stunning.
Okay, so I'm now in the Great Batad Rice Terraces with my guide, Abby. Let's go!
We then flew to Vigan. Vigan is one of the few towns left in the Philippines whose old buildings have mostly remained intact. The architecture is a fusion between colonial Spanish and Oriental traditional styles. It is the first and only UNESCO World Heritage Site in the Philippines. We then went to Corregidor Island, a historically war-filled island that played an important role during the invasion and liberation of the Philippines from the Japanese forces in World War II.
Okay, so here we are on Corregidor Island.
Our next flight was to Puerto Princesa on Palawan, where we visited the underground rivers and caves before stopping to go diving at Amos Rock in Tubataha Reefs National Park, with over 600 species of fish, 300 species of coral, and 13 species of whales and dolphins, but most famously, 11 species of sharks to swim with.
Okay, so we're now at the underground rivers and caves at Puerto Princesa in Palawan.
We then took a trip in Cebu to see some historic monuments before stopping at Fort San Pedro, a prominent 17th century fort.
Oh, look, there's Magellan's Cross. Cool.
Our final stop was in Camiguin, which holds the world record for the island with the most number of volcanoes for every square kilometer.
Okay, so we're at Camiguin, the island born to fire. I'm swimming in the rain. I'm swimming in the rain.
Okay, so I'm now in the Great Baton Rice Terraces with my guide,